Hi, my name is Shally Brinley. I'm the editor and publisher for Pallet Enterprise Magazine, and this is the second installment in our Enterprise Edge, where I go through what's in the next Pallet Enterprise Magazine, give you a preview of what to be looking out for. Also, if you don't get the Pallet Enterprise and you're in the pallet industry or sawmill industries, you can subscribe online for free at www.palletenterprise.com. Encourage you to do that today. The July issue is an exciting issue because we have a lot in there about automation and some kind of different ways to look at your operation. Specifically, I want to highlight the cover story on Alliance Automation and what they've done with Bose Pallets and Atlanta Pallets and Northland Pallet. As far as the robotic dismantler, which is kind of revolutionary for our pallet industry. And even the thing that Greg Bowen told me he thought was even more revolutionary than that is the urban sawmill, which is a system designed to take all those different trim sizes and optimize it, cut it, and then put it in bins that are sorted. The thought is you have an operation if you're a pallet recycler that has lots of people, you can reduce that while also increasing accuracy and increasing, production and efficiency. Greg basically told me he thinks it's the most revolutionary thing to hit the pallet recycling industry since the bandsaw dismantler was first introduced years ago. So that's pretty exciting. Also want to tell you about a story on pallet fire and safety. This is from one of our safety consultants. He goes in and identifies the different reasons for fires and what you can do, almost like a safety checklist to how you can go through your operation and identify, am I at risk or not? And you know as well as I do that if you're in the pallet industry, you do have risk factors to consider. The other thing is if you're looking for a pallet nailing system, and with the huge increase in demand, there's a lot of people who are looking and they're waiting because it takes a long time to get some of these systems right now. There's a whole review that we've done on pallet nailing systems. We try to do that once a year, and that's to help you. We do some of the homework for you so you don't have to do it all yourself. Another article in there is the second installment of our prepping for the changing industry landscape. And in this particular issue, we talk about cash flow, we talk about optimization of your supply chain, and also how to develop an innovation culture at your company. Because if you don't have that, you're going to be following other people, not leading the industry. And then one of the other things I want to highlight is we have an article in there where my father sits down and talks about the pros and cons of consolidation. Let's face it, this industry has seen huge consolidation with big players over the last year. It's not as if it's new, but it's at an unprecedented pace. So one of the things I want to highlight every one of these videos is the big takeaway. And the big takeaway is this. If you haven't thought about, particularly if you're a pallet recycler, your core supply and where you're getting your cores from, you need to. Because as these companies consolidate, it's going to change the dynamic of what's happening in the core supply. Things you used to be able to depend upon, you may not be able to depend upon it anymore. So I want to encourage you to consider that. And if you're a decent sized pallet recycler, there's nothing that's saying you can't develop your own program with a variety of other quality guys that you know in the industry to offer national pallet purchasing. Matter of fact, I think of one of the big groups that developed years ago was PalNet. It developed by pallet recyclers who said, hey, you know what? We need to be able to compete against the IFCOs of the world. So they went ahead and got a bunch of their friends together. They had trusted good operations. They decided to fund and put together a national pallet purchasing and management organization. There's nothing that's saying the next big thing in the pallet industry isn't out there and it's waiting in your hands to develop it. So that's just my big takeaway for the month. Don't be a victim of consolidation. Use it to your advantage.